Hey guys. I was chatting with a user the other day, and they were expressing to me that one of their frustrations with Domo is the lack of personalization. What they meant by that is that they could have, if I imagine a world where I have 1, 10, or 50 dashboards, and I want to have a landing page or kind of a user experience for them that kind of guides them through to the stuff that they need to see. If I have a user that has 50 dashboards, I might want to be able to curate and say, okay, these 5 are the most important one, these 10 are less important, and the other ones we just frankly don't care about. How can I do that? So for my use case here, for this little toy example, I've got 5 dashboards of different names. Now, instead of hard coding these dashboards into dataset or into the configuration of a card or a dashboard, what I might do is have a data set that has, okay, here's a list of all of my dashboards, here's a URL, here's some boilerplate description, right? How might I put a landing page together as a little mini app? So that's kind of all of the dashboards that I might want to publish in a landing page. And I might have a separate data set where I control the visibility. So if you are AR test, you should be able to see mountain adventure and beach sunset. Let me add city lights. Wait, let me add one more to the list just so it's a little bit more obvious. We'll add wildlife safari. So I'm going to add wildlife safari for our friend AR test, right? This is a process of how I might go about configuring, oh, this needs to be in your top 5 or top 10 dashboards, whatever. Just add them to your data set. Okay, high level, that's the idea. Our goal, once we get to it, is to see this dashboard kind of adjust according to who it says I am. All right, so this is a DDX brick, so let me kind of talk you through the code that's going on here. The way I like to organize my JavaScript, not that I write a ton of JavaScript, but the way I like to write a lot of my code is to have a main function down at the bottom that kind of does everything, and then I just call main. All right, so in pieces, what's going on here is I start by saying, hey, I am this email, and I want to get the list of stuff that should be visible to me. So get a filtered list of the cards or dashboards that I should have access to. And then I'm going to go to actually render the card. But to render that card, I have to get the boilerplate information. What is the name of the card? What's the URL link? What's the image? What's the copy text? So that'll be that get actual data function. And remember, the get actual data is going to call data from this data set here. Okay. And then I have a function that actually prints the card. Okay. Let's start at the top. So here I am at get filter data. Like I said, you're going to pass in your fake email, and we're going to issue a query to XYZ dataset that says select email and cards from this data set where email is equal to XYZ value. And like I said, for our fake email, we're going to use artest.com. In reality, once we put this into production, what we would do is instead of using a fake email, we would use the value that's retrieved from the domo.env environment. That will be my actual email, and that's represented here. Your real email is j@onyxreporting.com, right? That's the real email that it's going to pull from that env environment. But okay, we're going with fake email for now. So, where am I? I'm running this query with this fake email. I'm going to get a set of results, which I'm then going to return. And those are going to be my filter IDs. You know what? I think what I would prefer to do is maybe move this return filter IDs. This filter IDs. And I'm going to move that into my get filtered data function, which is here. And then that's cleaner. I prefer that. Okay. So yes, we're going to run our SQL query against a database with that data alias. We're going to get a list of all of the cards I should have access to, and the only piece of information I'm actually interested in returning is the list of card IDs. Okay, for those of you who might not be familiar, this notation here, I think this is available in JavaScript ECMA 2017 or so. I could be making this up. But this is the format. The async await format is different than from the promises format, which is that .then that you see in most of Domo's basic DDXs. I just find this syntax a lot more readable, and I think you'll see more and more examples on the internet that use async await. Just it's more common, especially for those of you using React. All right. So that's how I get a list of the card IDs of interest. Now when it's time to really retrieve my data, same idea, I'm going to pass in the card IDs that I retrieved from this previous function. And then I'll say, hey, select card IDs from this table, and then I'll apply a filter right here. So filter where the resulting data set card ID is in my filters IDs list. Okay, that's that. You might be wondering, well, Jay, why didn't you just do this as a dataset view instead of doing this processing in the client? Well, the dataset view is an interesting idea, but it is a little bit more effective or efficient to do it this way just because I have control on the app side, and it allows me to do stuff like this, this spoofing bit here. Actually, as I say that out loud, doing it as a dataset view might be easier. Certainly from the validation perspective. Okay, moving on. Just go with the demo. All right, we're now at the point where we want to paint our navigation. So to paint my navigation, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, here's a list of the cards that you should be able to see. And I want you to start by generating that card. So the card will be a div tag that has card content. It will receive the card ID. In here, I could have, that needs to be an NH2. I could say, you know, here's where I'm going to put my image source, blah, blah, blah. I want to put in my copy and all of that. However you want to make your card component look. And really, you can go to codepen.io and basically copy paste some card components and just use them here. That's somewhat straightforward. Okay, so that's how I generate a card. In the actual paint container function, what happens is I say, I need a container that's going to hold all of these cards that I generate. And so here in this for each function, I'll say, for each card in cards, I want to generate some HTML, and then I'm going to plop it into this row div tag that's contained within container. Contained within container. And then I'm going to paint that into my document in the app div container, which is here. Oh, by the way, the who am I didn't really talk about that. I'm using this who am I up. Where am I printing who am I? Here. I'm updating who am I so you can just see like what queries I'm running. All right, so that's the app. Let me go here and let's see it run. Let me edit my card here. Paste this in. Please run the first time. That'd be great. Okay, so right now, if I look in my main, let me hide this. In main, I am running with AR test. So I'm showing 1, 2, 3 cards. If I run this as DM test, and this I'm just spoofing that person, now it says, hey, you ran the query DM test, and now I can see I only have 2 results instead of the 3 when I have AR test. And like I said, at the end of the day, ultimately, we're going to use my actual email from the environment, which is not going to show any results because I haven't set myself up. But just to prove that this demo actually works. Oh man, it occurs to me, I really hope I'm recording right now. Let me give myself access on nixreporting.com. I'm going to give myself access to Wildlife Safari, just one. So as the administrator of this dashboard experience, I said, oh, Jay should have access to that one thing, and there's his one button. Anyway, so guys, I appreciate that, Domo is still working on making personalization more of a thing, but you can imagine we definitely have a road forward where if I wanted to have personalization in my apps experience or my dashboard experience, this is a way where we can do it, where we can say, hey, I've got control over what you can see, and then kind of work it in that way. My name is Jay Wilson. Hope you guys found that useful. Catch you guys later. Bye.